time to save the world. One step at a time. One step at a time. Let's all save the world. Save the world, baby. I'm enjoying the fire. Getting light.
Yeah. I see the greed, I see the pain, I see the hate. We getting money at the same time, restoring faith. With other coin, you know, donates to different causes every day. We the revolution, the solution, young renegades. Defy institutions, give the working man a better way. And at the same time, we help the world strive toward better days. So what do you say? The world's real different than it was 2 years ago. Not everyone has access to the things that they need to cope. It's your opportunity to help someone stay afloat, stay alive, give out hope, throw the rope, and pull them in. We in this together, can't have tunnel vision. Hey, that's no way to live. Focused on the mission because we all can. So come and join us, friends.
It's time to save the world. One step at a time. One step at a time. Let's all save the world. Save the world, baby. I'm enjoying the fire. Getting light. The world can be so dark, 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 dark. Life can get so hard, hard. But with a little hope and a little bit of love and a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of trust, we can all do better. We can build each other up, not break each other down, cause we all the same blood. It's time to save the world. One step at a time. One step at a time. Let's all save the world. Save the world, baby. I'm enjoying the fire. Getting light. It's time to save the world. One step at a time. One step at a time. Let's all save the world. Save the world, baby. I'm enjoying the fire. Getting light.
Yeah. I see the greed, I see the pain, I see the hate. We getting money at the same time, restoring faith. With other coin, you know, donates to different causes every day. We the revolution, the solution, young renegades. Defy institutions, give the working man a better way. And at the same time, we help the world strive toward better days. So what do you say? The world's real different than it was 2 years ago. Not everyone has access to the things that they need to cope. It's your opportunity to help someone stay afloat, stay alive, give out hope, throw the rope, and pull them in. We in this together, can't have tunnel vision. Hey, that's no way to live. Focused on the mission because we all can. So come and join us, friends.
It's time to save the world. One step at a time. One step at a time. Let's all save the world. Save the world, baby. I'm enjoying the fire. Getting light. The world can be so dark, 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 dark. Life can get so hard, hard. But with a little hope and a little bit of love and a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of trust, we can all do better. We can build each other up, not break each other down, cause we all the same blood. It's time to save the world. One step at a time. One step at a time. Let's all save the world. Save the world, baby. I'm enjoying the fire. Getting light.
Well. Looky here. We are live again, guys, for our 22nd night. We just completed 3 straight weeks of donations. As you can see, we have a special guest, and we have my partner in crime, Christian, here. And this is Jeff. He is the CEO of TRUSTSWAP. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great. Hi, guys. Super thanks for having me. Really glad to be here.
Absolutely. Happy to have you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on and to be getting to know a little bit about you some more and having you tell our holders a little bit about yourself and about the Eden Reforestation Project. So,
For sure.
Why don't we start with you, Jeff? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, well, in the crypto space, obviously, you know, I'm kind of pretty heavy on TrustSwap right now. I had worked on a project previously called Uptrend, which we had grown to be quite a substantial blockchain-based social media platform, running a couple of I think they're actually currently the 2 most engaged crypto Facebook groups for anyone who still goes on Facebook. Those are still live and kicking. But yeah, no, I'm just really passionate about cryptocurrency. When I found out about Ethereum, it just really resonated with me that, you know, this is a potential for us to really change the way that power is distributed amongst the world, you know, really change it from top down to be more so of a, you know, a sustainable ecosystem where it's intertwined and interwoven and everyone has their place. And so, you know, things like decentralized autonomous organizations, I'm a huge fan of these kinds of systems and, you know, projects such as yourself that are using crypto really for the good of humanity. So, you know, when I saw what you guys were doing, I think it was one of the guys on Twitter, I forget his username now, but he kind of tweeted it out to me. I saw it, I'm like, oh man, this is exactly what I've been looking to see. So kudos to you guys for some incredibly well thought out tokenomics. I think it's like incredibly commendable. And I've been seeing a couple other projects popping up doing, you know, this similar style tokenomics. So, you know, hats off to you guys for starting a really admirable trend that I think has a lot of potential to make a lot of good in our world. So thank you guys for doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that was I was really excited when they reached out to me personally and wanted me to do the live streams. I was really pumped because I love what it's about. And the one thing I really love about the Save token is we invest in SH coins all the time to try and make that bank. But these, with this 10% tax and the donations going to something good, you know, every day and coming out here and donating, and it started out as kind of a charity token, and it's becoming so much more the more they dig into it, and the team is just so crazy with this. Hey, Christian.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what you mentioned before, Jeff, about the DAO and giving kind of holders the opportunity to help steer the direction of where the token is going and who to help and all that. And I think that's a really cool thing. Because it allows people to invest in something that they're really passionate about, and kind of taking this project is a good way to shine a positive light on all the good crypto can do. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, and I think recently you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I saw, you know, an update to your proposal that, you know, did some more token buybacks. It was just instead of like going to the liquidity pool. So I think what you guys are finding right now is this really nice balance in between, you know, satisfying token holders for, you know, maybe, you know, more self-centered reasons, but also being able to balance that with, you know, for the greater good. Because I feel like for a lot of these movements to really take form, you need to have that good balance. I find it's really difficult to be one side or the other. And so striking that balance is very difficult. And I think you guys are doing a great job at that. One of my friends talks a lot about, you know, how does he phrase it? Like capitalist charity. It's not the exact phrase, but essentially he's like, you know, people always kind of say, you know, we shouldn't be paying these charity CEOs and founders like high salaries because it should be going to the charity. But in reality, you need good people to work on these projects and these charities so that you can like really drive them and grow them. And so I guess that's a long-winded way of saying, you know, the balance has to be there. And I see with what you guys are doing that you've really are continuing to not only have you struck that balance, but are continuing to refine that in, which I think is really commendable and shows the ability to, you know, innovate and adapt. And since it feels like you guys are, you know, one of the first movers, that's a huge asset for any project in crypto. So I'm feeling good about you guys' future, and I'm full support of what you're up to.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate that, Jeff, big time, especially coming from yourself. But yeah, Save is so much more, and like the team listens to the community so well. I actively get DMs, and they go direct to the team, and you can see them day by day putting these things into action. And with the new DAO that's coming out, that's really going to put a lot of power back to the community. When decentralized cryptocurrency, that's what it's all about. The people have the power. There shouldn't be, one organization that holds the keys to the city, as a matter of speaking. So,
Yeah, and to go off that, I think what Save is trying to do is basically kind of make a platform or an ecosystem for decentralized social capital. This kind of new direction that we're kind of headed in, and with Save being a token that's what's the term? I think impact investing.
Right.
It's kind of like it's a new wave, and it's a good one to have in the ecosystem because it brings a lot of trust, and it kind of shows that people can care for a little bit more than just their own money, right?
Yes.
And they can kind of work towards something that's a common good. And even though we're all spread out in the world, crypto moves really quick, and we can get money from one place to another. And when you kind of cut through all the red line through the way kind of charities and certain organizations that are set up now, money being transferred can take weeks or months to kind of get to where it needs to go. Whereas with crypto, like we were working with Act Now, and we sent them money over the last week, and in that same week that money was being put to use to build shelters. And that's amazing because it's just the money goes to where it needs to go, and it helps people. So that's amazing.
That's a really good point, because it's, the logistics of being able to send money and the fees and, the accessibility to it, I think facilitates a lot of these projects to get access to capital that they've never had before in such facility and volume. A lot of these charities, what was it? I think, for example, Wall Street Bets, when they were, sponsoring all those gorillas, I think it was like 2 months ago or something, like, oh my God, like we've never had this many donations in the history of our existence. And so I think, the internet has really fueled this really positive ecosystem for us to be able to give back and create much more efficient systems, because I feel like governing agencies certainly aren't doing the trick, and so it's unfortunately up to the people. But I think we're doing a great job continuously progressing and being able to head in that direction. And it's initiatives like this that I think are very interesting. And I'm chatting with one guy. His thing is like, isn't it interesting how stable coins are backed by dollars? It's like, what if stable coins were backed by land, which was purchased for ecological purposes, and then as that value increases, then you get dividends? I'm like, this is the kind of thing where not only does it make sense on a logistics level, but it's a huge benefit for the world. So this is what I'm really excited to continue to see develop, for sure.
That's a really good point about the stable coins, because within the cryptocurrency ecosystem, you can almost bend it and adapt it to kind of whatever you want it to be. If you have an idea, you can almost make it come to fruition within the cryptocurrency and create a token for almost anything you like. And that's really what I like. Everyday people who are good on computers are starting to learn how to code and become developers, and they're creating things that are so powerful, especially with, other charity tokens, are amazing, because in the end, the more assets that funnel into the charities to help the people that need it the most is great for cryptocurrency and for people in a whole.
Yeah, and I find that what we're doing is definitely, it started a really good trend. There are other tokens that come out that are kind of similar, but at the end of the day, they're also helping people out too. So it's kind of a good race to have, so to speak, and I like it.
Exactly. Yeah. If there's ever going to be competition in one sector, this is the sector you want the competition in. Or maybe you see it as synergy. There's another one that I've just reached out to recently called Pangea Ocean Token. I'm just like, you know what? Like, awesome. Like, if you have the more, the better. And I think, the room for synergy is quite thick and robust. So I'm excited to see how this ecosystem comes together and continues to grow.
100%. Yeah, no, I'm definitely on board with that too. So, so your charity is the Eden Rainforest, am I correct?
Yeah, it's Eden Reforestation Project. Yeah, so essentially what it is it's a global organization. I mean, for sure focused in Africa, for sure focused in a lot of areas in Asia. I'd say those are the two largest, because what they do is essentially 10 cents not just plants a tree, but also sees that tree grow to full maturity. So they have people coming back, watering it, fertilizing it. So it's not like, 10 cents. Because, for example, seed bombing is something that I think is real cool. You just load up a plane full of seeds that are embedded in clay, and then you just fly over the desert and whoop, up, 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 like millions of trees. You get a 10% germination rate, maybe a 5%, maturity rate. That's cool. But what I like about Eden reforestation is not only are you ensuring that 10 cents sees a tree grow to full maturity, but you're also employing somebody to do that. And in a lot of these countries, I don't think people realize how far a dollar goes. I believe it's over 50% of the global population lives on less than $2.50 per day. So that's staggering, So when you're making these initiatives, not only are you being able to, reforest the earth, maintain a better biodiversity for animals, for the ecology, for global warming, but you're also employing people in really underdeveloped and underserved areas, which, need capital to be able to buy food and things like this, because, clearly if they're in an area where they're reforesting, it's probably fairly arid. So, crops aren't growing so well. And, as you reforest, then that changes the microclimate, then it rains more, then you get more crops. I'd probably make the argument that a lot of places, whether it's in the Middle East or starting to see in California now where there's a lot of drought, that causes a very strong economic strain and pressure. And so it's something as simple as planting a tree or, potentially millions of trees, which, in height, like $100,000 to plant 1 million trees, I believe that was 40 kilometers by 10 kilometers is what a size scale that makes up. So that's just absolutely massive. So it makes a huge difference. And that's $100,000 and you just covered a big landmass.
Right. Wow. That is amazing. A lot of people watching may only know miles, but I won't do the quick math now. I don't think I can do that one in my head.
Yeah.
No, that's really interesting, especially with all the deforestation that has been happening places like in the Amazon rainforest and other parts of the world. It's really cool that something like this is kind of fighting that back and doing whatever is necessary to kind of reclaim that land, because it's being destroyed every single day like crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, we think, it's only happening in the Amazon, or it's only happening in these areas. Like, for example, I live in Canada, and maybe 100 kilometers or whatever that is, like 75 miles or 50 miles to the west, we've already logged 97% of the old growth forest in Canada. So I'm talking like these 2,000-year-old trees, and they're all gone besides 3%, and they're owned by the government of Canada. And what the government has been doing is leasing this land to logging companies. So you can't even buy the land to try to protect it, because that was my first initiative. They're like, but no, you can't buy it. We lease the land to logging companies, and then on top of that, they say you need to log this quota. So there's this area. They're like, okay, we're protecting the 3%, but then they move that 3% around. So it's like they'll open up an area, they'll cut it, and then they'll re-protect it. So it's this incredibly corrupt system all over the world, and it's really short-sighted and closed-minded for just a little bit of profit when they should be using second growth logging. So I feel and there's a really big fight. If anyone's watching this and they Google Fairy Creek blockade right now, there's a huge fight, like 2,000 people out there trying to save like the last 2%. But it's a huge struggle because you're fighting the government. And so that's why I really like Eden reforestation, because there's no fight. It's just people planting, and it's just really empowering. So I like that. Of course, you need both, because once those old trees are cut, they're never coming back. It changes. It's not just like 2,000 years and they grow back. It changes it for tens of thousands of years. Anyways, that's my spiel on trees. I won't go too much deeper into that.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Save is gonna do what we can to help you and the charity of your choice to plant as many trees as possible. If it's my understanding, we're going forward for a monthly donation with you, Jeff. Yep, that's perfect. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll be here. We'll be donating at the last day of every month, I believe, to the Eden Reforestation Program.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll put up the link if anybody's interested in being able to donate a little extra on top if they want. Every little bit helps. Like you said, 10 cents per per tree planted, and it employs also somebody in their homeland where it's getting planted, right?
Exactly. You got it.
Perfect. Well, now's the time. Should we take a look at the wallet, boys?
Let's do it.
Okay. Now, just we'll take a look at the wallet. And Jeff, did you have an address that you wanted the BNB to be sent to?
Yep, let me just pull that up for you guys right now while you check the wallet. We'll multitask it.
Sure. We'll take a look. Okay, we're looking at 11.2 BNB in the wallet. Now we have to split that in half for the buyback and burn of save, but we're not doing the buyback right away, because what happens, Jeff, is when we do the buyback, it was yesterday, it's like people are almost trying to game it. We do the buyback and then somebody would, of course, sell right on top of it. So now we have to do it randomized. So we got to keep everybody still guessing, because there is still some people out there that want to try and take that profit.
Of course.
But you know what? In the end, it is a positive, because if they bought and then sold, it's actually a double transaction tax on what they purchased and sold. That's more to donations, more to the holders, right? And I don't think that they made up that 20%, I guess it would have been, for the buying and selling with that. So.
Yeah, that's the thing that's good about Save. It's whether it's a buy or a sell, no matter what, that money is being kind of sectioned off and, used for donations.
Right. It's probably one of the only projects where when you see a bot, you're like, hey, nice.
Keep buying and selling. Let's go. Jack it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Let those bots battle each other all they want,
That's right.
Okay. Do you want to send that address here in the Google Meets chat? Can we do that?
Yeah, one moment. Let me find how to get the chat. Okay, I'm going to drop it. It's actually going to be a different address than I had sent you originally.
Okay.
But, so it ends.
That's
in
perfect.
C9F.
C9F. Yeah, we just like the viewers to see where the address is coming from, or they will attack me, I'm sure of it.
Right on.
So, no, they're all good. So what we're going to do, we're going to fire over 6 BNB there. That's just over half of what we did. And then we'll use the rest for the buyback and burn.
Right on. Appreciate it.
And that was 9C9F ending in 6 BNB. And we always like to jack that gas up, Jeff. We don't like waiting for transactions.
I'm the same. Who's got 2 minutes to spare in crypto? That's like a week.
Never.
That's what we always say. Okay.
Well, especially on BNB.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch those prices up and down. You wait an extra 30 seconds, you're paying a premium. But that's all sent over there now, Jeff.
Right on. Much appreciated, guys.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. We appreciate you coming on and hearing about Save. And we're really, really excited for the future. We had a call earlier, and there's a lot of working parts that are going to make this, I don't know how to express, so much more than just a charity token, or so much more than even impactful investing. It wants to be a platform that changes everything. And people with even $10, $15, $20 are able to participate and have a great say in the project as well, which is so amazing. All inclusive, everybody gets their shot at it, right?
Yeah, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm looking forward to a continued partnership, and not just, on this end of the month kind of hopping on and, helping to give a little bit of promotion and all that kind of thing. But I'd love to, get a little bit more ingrained and see how I can help you guys out in other ways, because I think what you're doing is really, really commendable. And I think it deserves a lot more attention and a lot more adoption. The world would be a lot better off for it.
Well,
yeah, that would be amazing, because at the end of the day, the way Save works is it's all based on volume. And if we have more people interacting with the coin, whether it's buying or selling it, then we're making more money for, donations. And it's kind of like a win-win situation. So that would be something that would be amazing in terms of getting more people exposed to the token and having them really understand what Save is trying to do.
Perfect. Yeah, after this live stream, let's keep the conversation going, and I'll throw a couple ideas over and we can chat it out.
Perfect.
Sounds good, Jeff. We're looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks a bunch, Jeff. We'll see you.
Right on. Much appreciated. See you guys.
Yeah.
All right.